ashes, right, as a resource, for example. Of course, the other issue is waste as energy. It's really how important in Singapore's context the importance of waste vis-a-vis energy, the importance of waste vis-a-vis other issues like water. Right? If you can tie waste to energy, and we know Singapore, the energy security issues, is one of the key considerations. So I think there will be developments along this area. Now, David, about the same issues in Europe.
Yeah, when I was thinking about this question the other day, I wrote down a series of points in no sort of logical order, but I think that, of course, population growth, consumption growth, urbanization, we know, but I don't think we quite realize the extent. Peking, or the Beijing, the government of China announced a 130 million population megacity will grow, incorporating the cities around Beijing, 130 million people. A third of Europe, one city. Lagos, the projections I've seen for Lagos in Nigeria by the end of this century, which is what, 2100? Yeah, 2100, yeah, okay. Lagos will be a mega city of 100 million people. So I don't think we quite grasp what that means, actually. It's the size of Germany in one town. It really is a huge, huge concentration. Now, there's opportunities in that, of course, in terms of urban development. There's opportunities in that in terms of rural development as well. Suddenly, a lot of space is going to be empty. Energy will be the key focus, and renewable energy, I think, will be the key focus of our planet, of our engineers, of our politicians over the next century, because the whole carbon question is crucial to our survival as a species. So energy will be a crucial question. I don't think that in our generation or in the generation of young people sitting here, that key resources will be a question. I stood up on the platform in WasteNet in 2012, and I said that energy prices when I die will be lower than they are today. And I looked around the room and there were a lot of people thinking, he's gone crazy. But I'm going to be right. Because renewable energy is kicking in, it's suddenly competitive, but energy will be the key focus because we have to get so much energy to people to be able to survive in these urban complexes, and therefore waste to energy will be a key focus. Food waste will be another focus because both food waste, we need to prevent a lot of food waste, which is happening. People throw around the figure that we are throwing away a third of all the food. Now, I don't believe that, because a lot of the food that we do throw away is food which we cannot eat. You can't eat the outside of a banana. You can't eat the outside of a pineapple. But it's classified as food waste. Okay? And you know, we all eat rice, and when you make rice, of course, you have the husks, which you have to get rid of. Well, that's food waste, but you can't eat it. So we have to distinguish about what we need to consume and we throw away. For example, the yogurt, where it says on the lid, my wife goes crazy about this, it says on the lid you can't eat it after the 22nd of July, and the 22nd of July she throws it away. Now, it's great for another 2 weeks. You know, I had a packet of salt at home that has a sell-by date on it. Salt. It's been in the earth millions of years, and it has a sell-by date on it. I mean, this is the world going crazy. Okay, so we have to look at food waste. There is a lot of avoidable food waste, but it's not all avoidable. And food waste collection, I think, will be a big issue, again, because of the emissions. You can't send that stuff to landfill anymore. It's making too much with them. And I think there'll be one or two, of course, electronic equipment will increase as well, and how to handle it. And I think there will be one or two surprises too. I think bioplastics. You know, I'm a great fan of bio-based and biodegradable plastics. I think they will start to make a significant impact on the plastics industry. You know, it's very small at the moment, 300 million tons of plastic, 1 million tons of bioplastics, so it's very, very small, but very, very rapidly growing, and plastics made out of chemicals which come from biomass, essentially, rather than coming from fuel. And I think that how we deal with them and how we collect them in our waste streams will become a question which we'll have to face, and we are already facing today in some European countries. And of course, I think that lastly, that the trend will be prevention. and industries, as if we use the hard approach, which I advocate, and we make consumer industries pay for the environmental damage that they make by putting their products onto the market, and therefore we make them pay to get those products back, we will see a great, great series of innovation in waste prevention. You know that statistic I talked about Austria at the beginning, you know? Well, we have yet to see that work through their various systems, because we have yet to see those consumer companies penalized for the damage that they do to the environment. America is particularly guilty of this, and America has not really got EPR schemes apart from in 1 or 2 states. But I think if we take that hard approach and we force waste prevention through the production and design part of waste, then we will see great, great prevention innovation in the future.
Okay, I think it's time for me to open to the floor the Q&A sessions. It's very rare occasions for us to have Mr. David here in Singapore, so make full use of this opportunity. I see people in the industry, and then again there will be issues in the industry, the real operational issues. So take this opportunity, ask very tough questions. We welcome that. So before anyone asks question, can you just please state your name, where you are from, right? Okay. Can I open to the floor?
Silence.
Yeah, thinking about tough questions for you. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Mike.
Mgmt here from Biotech, a consultancy in bioenergy. Couple of things I noticed. The title is sustainable. I didn't get too much about waste management, and we have not talked, because upstream of waste management is waste generation. So of course then I go on to the lifestyle that we all must consume. Then we can have more malls. I think one of the solutions is that, same like energy, waste is a form of energy. I would say that now we have energy managers. Not a few years ago, right now we have energy managers in malls, in government bodies, and even private sector commercial officers should be responsible for waste management, because they generate a lot. Alright? And I would say that even government bodies will make it a point, first starting with themselves, and also in their tenders. Before you have a contract, let me see your waste management habits in your company. Eventually you can make it obviously mandatory, you will make it voluntary right now. So I think that this can be led by the private sector. You already have energy managers. I think to extend it to the point of sustainable management in waste is not that difficult. You look at the factories, there are a lot of big factories that have a lot of water wastage, they have a lot of utilities, and they generate a lot of waste. So of course it's very easy to pick on industry, because if you look at the statistics where we have like 61% recycling, if you look at it, it's all wrong. Because majority of that is like 80-90% is actually commercial industry waste, because they go in it because they can make money. On the public sector, you're looking at about 10% for food waste and plastic. They're miserable. Alright? So, but I think that at the end of the day, push and give incentives for industry to move it. And there is, and government has the biggest role, because one is, I believe they are Singapore's biggest employer. And by right, I assume that, if everybody generates 1 kilo per day per year and so forth, then therefore they are the biggest generator. Therefore they should actually do something first.
Your question is directed to the
energy
officer here within this.
Everybody actually.
Okay, but one interesting point you mentioned about the energy manager, right? Do you think we can have similar things like a waste manager kind of scheme in Singapore?
Yes, because I look at it as, energy, waste is a form of energy. Because before the energy manager was mandated, we try to sway. And before the energy manager came, you came and you studied, health and safety. You're the safety officer, so you take charge of it. Right? And the safety officer is the one that goes around looking for mosquitoes at the feet.